Hi, everybody. Welcome to Psychic Predictions with Orion Ray. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is April the 3rd, 2024, and I'm here to warn you about astral projection, out-of-body experiences. Folks, it's not anything to play with. Yes, it's real. And it will take you years to truly get to a point where you even can sort of control it. But you can never really control it. And I'm going to give you an example of why you can never control it. Can you ever control every single thing that comes through the door at your house? No, you can't. And once you have a door and you open that door, different things can come through it. And they're not always going to be good. There's going to be many negative ones that can come through it. And I don't know how to tell you more than don't do it if you're not ready for it. In fact, don't do this alone. Don't ever try this alone for the first year. Not even maybe ever alone. So I'm going to tell you what it is like. Laying there, usually a eye mask is going to be helpful. In fact, I've gotten to the point, and I know this sounds crazy for any of y'all that really have never done this. It is almost like whatever is around knows. When I put that eye mask on, I am not going to bed, that I'm actually going to try the out-of-body experience. And it's like whatever it is knows. And I don't do this very often at all because of this. Unfortunately, once in a while it can be unintentional. But when it's intentional, I will begin with seeing myself in space, almost like an astronaut would be in space without the gear. And, you know, they're kind of floating around. You're seeing these stars around you. You're not looking down below and seeing anything. It's just space around you, you know, and like I said, stars around you. And I'll focus on maybe a light, not like a bright light, but something that's more like a lantern that might be in a fog, right? So, you know, you can see this lantern in this fog. You see it's a little bit of light, but it's not like a clear light. But when I see this, I'll look for them because they do turn up. And it's like I will imagine grabbing this light where it could pull me through. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But you do. You have to imagine being able to grab this light that's kind of coming fast towards you and it pulling you through wherever it's going. Almost like if you hitched a ride on a roller coaster, right? That it's, you know, pulling you around. Or if you're on a string and somebody's pulling that string, or on a skis, you know, if you're on a water skis, you know, imagine, you know, them pulling you around from a boat. But that's not what I imagine. I'm saying out in space, imagine this light pulling you around like that. Now, you're not to this level yet. You're completely conscious. Nothing's changed at this point. However, in my case, I will begin feeling rocking. And sometimes, and it's not a rocking out of the bed or anything, it is a rocking where I can feel the sensation of me rocking, not surrounding objects rocking. So it might be from head to toe, like a swing set, like back and forth as if you're kind of laying down in a swing set. Or it might be side to side. I'll be honest with you, it's never the same, at least for me. And I don't do this very often. It will take a toll on you, and it can be dangerous. This is not, again, something I ever recommend to anybody new in the paranormal field. If you're new in the paranormal field, don't do it. Wait 10 years until you're in that paranormal field to even think about doing this. Because this is your highest step in the paranormal field. Okay? This is your ultimate highest step. Anything, everything else is below it. This is the ultimate step, and it's very, very different. So as the sensation of the rocking happens, in many cases, you will now, some of the people call this their vibration stage. I still feel it's more of a rocking. And at this time, if somebody is next to you, they will begin feeling themselves, say a rocking of a bed, the rocking of lightly of objects around you. And this is not to be taken lightly, people. This is not to be taken lightly. So they can feel this. And once you get to this level, you're in sleep paralysis. So now your body is in sleep paralysis. And you got to remember what that means. You are paralyzed in your sleep now. So anything that could be coming through, they're going to be able to come through, or whatever it is going to be able to come through you right there and then. And initially, I have heard more people, more and more, in fact, it happened to me on several occasions, of being choked. And it is a worse feeling. You can't do anything about it, and you're paralyzed, and you got something choking you. Now, knock on wood, that was in the beginning. I have not had that happen for years now, thank goodness. But anyway, as these things are rocking around you, so now now the vibration of the bed is happening, right? The rocking of the bed. Sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less. And in some cases, you begin to float. They're not going to see it. If somebody's there watching you, they're not going to see you float, right? But you are going to feel it. And in most cases, you're not going to float all at once. Your whole body's not going to float all at once. It's like, again, because you're going that back and forth, right? You're going head to toe. So now you're floating a little bit. Your feet are floating a little bit. And then your head is floating a little bit. And your feet are getting a little bit higher and floating. Then your head is getting a little bit higher and floating. So do you see where I'm going? Now you're in sleep paralysis complete. Folks, if you don't know how to get out of sleep paralysis, don't get to this stage. I cannot explain it more than that. Anybody having any kind of cardiac issues, maybe you're a little bit more not spiritually secure, maybe you get very frightened easy. People, this can damage you. This can damage you for the rest of your life. And I don't know, I'm being very, very serious. And so this is at the point where you are now. And as you float, Now you're going to focus on your astral projection. But I won't take it any further than that. Because my point to you now is the warnings. Once you open the door, you can't control what comes through it. And don't think whatever comes through it will stop when you get out of sleep paralysis. You've opened that door, people. And yes, you now become more aware. You become more knowledgeable of your environment. But that's negative and positive. You can predict more. You understand more. I can tell you in so many cases of things that are to come, at things that are going to happen. But it's usually not on a personal level. Like, I wouldn't know, what is going to happen to me the next day. I'm going to know what's going to happen overall, in general, to society, on my surroundings. Because again, you're involving your surroundings. This is an ability to predict a certain person or predict your future. This is knowing your surroundings and what is there. And folks, what is there is dangerous. Any way you look at it. Nowhere in our environment are things truly safe, right? There are so many bad people out there. So many things that are coming to hurt you. There are good things too. There are good folks out there too. With the negative comes positive. With positive comes the negative. But are you ready to encounter this? Don't do it without somebody there. I just don't do it without somebody there. And if somebody isn't there, have a pet around, have your dog around, have something there that is able to help alert you to pull you out of sleep paralysis. And you must know how to get out of sleep paralysis. You think you're going to jump right out of it initially? It takes years to perfect how to get out of sleep paralysis, people. Years. So anyway, I hope this has helped. Be aware of what you're doing. I'm so glad you tuned in. I try to put the audio recordings out when I can. Again, I am Orion with Orion Ray in Psychic Prediction. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all later. Stay safe, people.